It's been a very busy week in the life of Harry and Meghan. As we know, we've brought you reports all about their latest escapades in the Netherlands and that flying visit to Windsor. But there's one topic about that flying visit to Windsor that a lot of people are asking burning questions about. So today I thought I'd share it with you. Good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to see you today as ever. Hope you're all keeping well and fine and dandy. I don't know about you, but this week has been incredibly busy, as you can imagine. I don't know if you understand the politics or follow the politics over here, but the media, the mainstream media over here in the United Kingdom will not let up about Boris and the Partygate thing. And when you're doing that every single day, you think to yourself, you know what? I'd rather talk about anything than Boris and Partygate. It just becomes so tedious. Is it like that in your part of the world? Do the mainstream media just hook onto something and won't let go? You know, and you kind of think, I think the public are bored, really bored. Hope you're not bored watching this, by the way. How dare you? No, please stay. Anyway, back of course to your breaking roll story of the day. This particular story really caught my eye because, as we've often said now in great detail, about that recent visit by Harry and Meghan to Windsor. And wasn't it odd that they basically said they didn't feel safe and all that sort of stuff, but they popped over, as we told you, by command of Our Gracious Majesty the Queen. But then we're seen popping around the grounds waving to busloads of tourists, which of course Windsor's always got. According to a very good source though, when that story went around Windsor, a lot of people simply didn't believe it. They thought they were just lookalikes, you know. And I know that might seem a bit daft, but I've seen a lot of lookalikes in Windsor and outside Buckingham Palace. You know, they do these fake photo shoots and stuff like that. So yeah, you might have thought, well, no, they're not here. You know, it can't be them. But what's interesting when you delve a little bit deeper about that particular story with Harry and Meghan is this. As we now know, you know, they were very keen to share the fact with the general public that they had in fact met Her Majesty the Queen and wanted to let the world know that everything was fine and dandy and that, you know, there was no real problem. Harry was mainly looking out for her, checking in on her, all that sort of stuff. Hadn't bothered for 2 years, couldn't be bothered with the Prince Philip Memorial, but now, you know, the time was right, of course. The cameras were geared up and he was launching his big event for Netflix, the Invictus Games documentary. But then, of course, there's one vital ingredient missing, and we're going to tell you exactly what that is right now. Whenever Our Gracious Majesty the Queen meets someone at Windsor, and as you can see by the daily videos that we post here, everything's recorded, you know, because it's seen as an official visit, even though it's a private visit. Now, what's really been interesting to note, particularly with this private visit, is where was the picture? And more importantly, was there actually a picture taken? So we did a bit of delving for you, and I contacted obviously my good sources out at Windsor. Now, they couldn't confirm or deny that in fact there could have been a picture taken. In fact, there were a few giggles. But if there was a picture taken, and we have to say as ever here, allegedly, that remains in the ownership of the Crown, i.e. Her Majesty the Queen. Now, they were not allowed to take any pictures, I am told, at the event. And of course, if they had have done, then either they're going to pop up on the Netflix documentary, or I'm sure they would have been able to share them right now when they were speaking to NBC for that hefty fee we mentioned about. It's interesting to note, isn't it, either, because Our Gracious Majesty the Queen, or indeed no one from the royal palaces, have decided to release that picture, if there's one in existence. So once again, Harry and Meghan create this absolute mystery surrounding themselves. Now, for what it's worth, I'm not totally believing that there would have been a picture taken on that day. We told you why the initial visit was summoned, and Prince Harry was in that room alone, allegedly. As ever, we have to pop that in. But what's interesting to note is, if there was a picture, it could be explosive for either side. Over here in the United Kingdom, that really would not go down well at all in this Platinum Jubilee year. But of course, for Harry and Meghan, it could be a rather useful tool to try and sell and cement their brand even further across America and then the rest of the world, who simply adore our monarch in her 70th year on the throne. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.